the Danish Technology University. Yes, welcome from our advanced partners, the advanced partners of the Phaethon Center of Excellence. This day is very special to us, Cyprus. I'm the managing director of Cyprus, Maria Georgiadou, and well, beyond running a very demanding grant program for the scientific community of Cyprus for the last 7 years, we were inspired, not the first time, but the second time, by the MIT because of a program that they've been running for a number of years in Boston initially, but then it grew to be an international program. About 138 organizations around the world have become sister programs to the MIT Venture Mentoring Service, which we are about to introduce to Cyprus. So today we will spend some time with those who are instrumental to the success of this program, and I'm talking about you, the people to be mentors, and therefore I wish to begin with an intro by Professor Yorgos Georgiou, who is the CEO of the Phaethon Center of Excellence, a center that aspires to become a regional center for the introduction to the market of innovative solutions in the renewables and green energy. Phaethon is connected to the program we are about to introduce to you because it wishes to adopt a methodology, the one that we will describe to you, at the right time, after we pilot the program and we operate in Cyprus. The Phaethon will be the family of this program in order to make it one lasting program for Cyprus and the region. So, I would like to introduce Professor Georgiou. If you have a voice like me, you can stand here instead of standing at the podium. Please.
I have to. Okay. Hi, everyone. I want to say a couple of things, just 2-3 things only. First of all, I went to the training program at MIT with Maria back in last November, and the experience was amazing. And I think we are really, really lucky to have brought this program to Cyprus because it will really benefit our ecosystem and it will help towards the commercialization of brilliant ideas. That's the first thing. And credit goes to Maria and the Cyprus seat for making this possible. It was an amazing experience. Second thing I would like to say, I'm very happy because through Phaethon, we have also another very valued partner, Skylab. And we are also very lucky to have our innovation partner within Phaethon Center of Excellence. And thank you, Jens, for coming today, because we can learn a lot from you, and you're our guiding mentors. And hopefully we can learn from your experience, and we can do things here in Cyprus as well. It's important because Denmark is a small country like Cyprus. So when we have the argument of saying, okay, but you're a small country, there's not much you could do, we have to turn and say, but Denmark is a small country, and one of the most advanced innovation systems in Europe is in Denmark. And we are very happy to have this here in Cyprus. The third thing I want to say, and the last one, is that I'm very happy to see that we have engaged with mentors from Cyprus, and of course, we'll have mentors from abroad that will give the opportunity to young talent to be educated, to be guided towards successful journeys towards commercialization. Failure is not a problem. If you fail, you do it again, and then you maximize your chances of success. And one last thing is that Phaethon is committed to advancing state-of-the-art research. That's one of the important pillars, but also to try to contribute to the commercialization and the innovation aspect, especially in the field of energy in Cyprus. So enjoy this, and thank you very much for your time.
We are partners for the last 3 years with Yorgos, but he forgot to say that he went through the Cyprus Seeds program. That's why he became brilliant. So the community is growing. The community is growing. So today, what are we going to do in the next 1 hour and 1 hour and a half? So beyond Yorgos, I'm going to say a few things about this program. And then, of course, our guest, Jens, will share his experiences at the Danish Technology University, because they have been a sister program of the MIT program for the last 12 years, Jens. So a small country that brought this VMS to Denmark 12 years ago and customized it to be more relevant and more impactful for Denmark. So we wish to hear what you have to say to us. And finally, our Margarita Kyprianou, the innovation manager of Cyprus Seeds, will explain in more detail the program and how it relates to you and what we wish to do with you. And of course, the best part, the startups who will be the mentees of you, the mentors, will introduce themselves. And then hopefully you will stay with us for a cocktail. So instead of boring you with what Cyprus Seeds is, I have a 3-minute video which will tell you in 3 minutes what we have achieved so far and what it is that we will be introducing going forward. Can we switch off the lights? The lights there, so we can see what is shown.
Groundbreaking research existed in Cyprus for years, but too often it stayed in the lab. Cyprus Seeds was created to change that, from the vision of Mr. George David, a philanthropist from the Leventis family, to an organization that empowers scientists to turn innovative research into real-world impact, to move ideas from lab to market. It was set up as a private, non-profit company dedicated to create value for Cyprus. The inspiration for the Cyprus Seeds program was a similar program offered by the MIT Despante Center for Technological Innovation. In just 7 years, that vision became a reality. Cyprus Seeds is more than just a grant program. It is a platform that identifies tech talent in Cyprus, nurtures it, and connects it to the world. What have we achieved so far? Well, we have completed 7 amazing years of pro bono offering and impact. We have evaluated more than 140 applications from all over Cyprus, from 10 academic institutions and 13 research organizations on the island, including the Centers of Excellence. We have supported 24 scientific teams with non-equity grants, close to 1 million euros, training on critical topics for the commercialization of scientific research, including customer exploration and the perfect pitch for fundraising. We have offered mentoring by engaging more than 30 experienced international mentors, and we have connected our scientists with international accelerators, including MIDEF Greece, the EC Accelerator of Europe and Greece, and Conception X in the UK. Cyprus Seeds is proud to have been the catalyst for the creation of 6 spin-outs, the conclusion of 2 licensing agreements, and the creation of more than 50 new jobs. Thank you all for being passengers and supporters on this rewarding entrepreneurial journey. Thank you for sharing the vision. During the last 7 years, we have interacted and worked closely with all the universities research institutes, and centers of excellence in Cyprus. We became the innovation partners in 2 flagship initiatives supported by the European Commission and the Cyprus government, namely the Phaethon Center of Excellence and the DGene project. We have attracted more than 2 million donations from corporations and the Greeks and Cypriots of the diaspora from the US and Europe. It is no wonder that Cyprus Seeds has been awarded a large number of national and international awards. In 2025, Cyprus Seeds ranked as one of Europe's leading startup hubs by the Financial Times. What started as a bridge from lab to market is now becoming something bigger, an innovation catalyst contributing to the growth of the deep tech ecosystem of Cyprus. And this is only the beginning. We will go beyond.
Any questions about Cyprus Seeds? Yes. Okay, so this is us the last 7 years. We are going beyond. We're introducing a new program, and that's the VMS, which we must say we wanted to bring it to Cyprus because during our 7 years, as already mentioned, we offered grants, of course, mentoring, training, and networking. And when we asked our 24 teams what was the most valuable part of the offering of Cyprus Seeds, they all said the mentoring. We needed it so badly. Not only we needed it, I'm going to jump. I'm going to tell you the testimonials we got from some. They said, Professor Julius Georgiou from the University of Cyprus, it saved us, the project, millions by avoiding wrong decisions because of the advice we got from the mentors. Among the best mentoring programs internationally, that's from Professor Globas Globar from the Institute of Neurology, of great value for addressing critical matters, from Dr. Anastasia Antoniou, the DEPAC. So I wanted to tell you that we're not new in this, and we are convinced that mentoring is essential for progress. And based on a survey done in the US, it is evidenced that 80% of CEOs have received mentorship because they value it. 93% claimed that mentoring was instrumental to their success, and 70% of mentored startups survived longer than 5 years. So I think the numbers speak for themselves. And then here we are, just finishing on the fact that we have data and evidence that mentoring is essential for progress and for success. We have done 4 cycles at Cyprus Seeds. We have engaged, since the video was produced, more than 40 mentors. We said 30 in the video, globally from 4 different countries. And look at that percentage. I was also very pleasantly surprised when I saw the figures. 60% of our mentors were US-based, but 70% were from the diaspora, from our own Cypriots and Greeks of the diaspora, and we're very proud of that. So some of our mentors, 1 in 4, wanted to be, again, mentor for new projects. And not only, there was growing interest from mentors to mentor, new mentors, I mean, and we didn't have enough pipeline to give. And then finally, the network of mentors who have engaged have done commercialization, and they have experience in deep tech and in different areas of the economy. So this is just a sample of the mentors who have used. Check them out. You can see some of them are known to some of us because they were very involved with some of our projects and with the Phaethon now. I mean, you can see it's a range of people who are startup founders, investors, serial entrepreneurs, legal experts, founders. It's a variety. And all these mentors have been doing it pro bono.
So, conclusively, beyond the 24 projects we have dealt with, we looked at the ecosystem generally, and we said, well, is there a problem really? Is there something, a gap, not a problem, a gap that we could fill in with this VMS program, which, by the way, is not free. It cost $40,000 US to become, to license it. So Cyprus Seeds invested in this, and we believe very much in it. So this is our finding. Cyprus produces excellent science, excellent research and technologies. It's got amazing, strong scientific outputs and breakthrough innovations. Cypriot founders are ready to build globally competitive ventures. And indeed, all that tells us that Cyprus even has the potential to become a regional tech hub. But there is absence of a robust, homegrown network of experienced local mentors, mentors on the ground to guide and support the emerging entrepreneurs of Cyprus. So while there is a pool of local talented and ambitious successful entrepreneurs, as well as amazing business professionals interested in supporting startups, there is lack of a structured framework to bring them together. And that lack of that structured network is restricting the transfer of knowledge, industry insights, and best practices by seasonal professionals to the emerging entrepreneurs. It limits the growth of startups and hinders the development of the ecosystem of Cyprus, and may lead to startups repeating the same mistakes. So, what is the solution? Well, in our humble opinion, one possible solution might be this tool, the VMS MIT Mentoring Service, which is a proven group mentoring approach centered around the needs of the mentee instead of the traditional one-to-one mentoring. We went to the US to find out more about it. Yorgos mentioned it. Yorgos, it was 2 years ago. Time flies. November of 2024. A team from Cyprus Seeds, a team from Phaethon, and one person from the industry who wanted, even then, thinking, how can I give to the community? How can I mentor? How can I give my wisdom back? We took him along. So we were this crowd amongst the MIT wisdom, and we learned all about this program. We were introduced to the mentors of the MIT mentoring service, and we learned the uniqueness, about the uniqueness of this program. We found out that they created an exclusive community, not only in Boston, where it all started, but look at that, in 34 countries around the world, by engaging 138 different organizations. And those organizations are the ones who are implementing the sister program. So DTU joined 12 years ago. We, Cyprus, are the ones to bring it to Cyprus, and we are the 139th sister program of the MIT. Why is it a unique program? Well, we think it is a unique program, and we welcome your comments after you experience it. But we think it is a unique program because it is based on a very successful methodology that was introduced by the MIT and has been adopted by how many countries? It's the first structured team-based mentoring model in Cyprus. All this will be explained better by Margarita, what I mean by team-based. It's going to be a mix of local and international mentors. It's going to be dedicated to the research, science-based, deep tech mentees, startups. So those will be the mentees. It is a long-term, trust-based relationship we are aiming to build with people on the ground, as well as with people from the US and other European countries who have more experience. And it is the very first time that we are bringing it to Cyprus, and Cyprus will have this opportunity. Finally, your contribution will matter a lot to the success of this program. You will not be just advisors. You will be shaping, in our humble opinion, the next generation of the serious deep tech founders in Cyprus. You will be part of a curated, invitation-only mentor group. So you're the first ones. You will be the ambassadors for the next lot. So please stay tuned. You will operate within a structured mentoring system, which will be explained by Margarita. And your business mentoring will influence real strategic and commercial decisions by our own Cypriot entrepreneurs. So you will contribute to building that mentoring culture for others to be inspired. What do you stand to gain? I think you will be proud at the end of offering your services and giving back to the community. I think you will earn recognition because we will choose the very best startups we can. So you will earn recognition through their successes, and it will be hopefully enhancer to your careers as well. It's all set here. Maybe I missed anything. Yeah, you will be proud because it will help transform the deep tech community, we believe, in Cyprus. And you will be part of Cyprus's world-class accelerator program and network of foreign mentors. You will bring your expertise to people starting new ventures. You will stay current on industry trends and build your professional network in Cyprus and abroad. And you will gain credibility as leaders and increase career advancement for you. So, the most important, in my opinion, you will have fun. And Margarita will explain to you why we have in mind to organize some exclusive activities for you, the mentors. So beyond networking with each other, you will have fun and you will grow as a community. So welcome abroad, and let's all get started. I wish to thank you again for being here with us. And I would like to introduce Jens to come, please, to the podium and say maybe a few words about yourself, Jens, and about Skylab, and then what it is that you have learned from the experience.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for this very warm welcome here. I like that, and I think also I would like to thank you for having a strong foundation and a real vision in doing this. So I've been quite impressed with these 2 days here. And to be honest, I'm maybe also a bit jealous of you. I mean, the start of this journey, which is too long. So they can listen you. Okay. I'll do that. Okay. I normally have a reputation of talking quite loudly, but I can be even louder now. That's good. So my last point is I'm even maybe a bit jealous because these first steps in developing up a program is really fun. So and to the mentors here, you should know that you can be quite instrumental in making this a success. A lot of the first mentors in our program is still taken into bigger decisions and is still listened to a lot. And maybe even a role model in their own network to some degree. So please engage. If you have a case running in DTU and you step in through the door, the house is yours. We are here to help you. So Skylab is the place where you can go and get support to make your startup case happen, even if you're a student or a researcher, both ways. Besides the house, we actually have people hired, which is called innovation partners, which is basically a kind of key account manager for each department. So we try to keep the feet on the floor everywhere there are scientists and researchers with staff. So being close, inspiring, and scouting. We are in the lucky situation in Skylab that there's a lot of people who continuously are signing up as mentors. So over the years, this has grown to be a quite big program. Today, there's more than 350 people signed up in what I call my active list. More than 100 teams helped. This is actually 25 numbers. The Net Promoter Score is, if you don't know, it's a tool you normally use for customer satisfaction. And so 65 basically means that the customers of the program, which for me is the researchers, are very happy with it. And we do that every year. Our mentors are pro bono, and I see them as private individuals, so they don't represent anything but themselves. And with the size of the program as it is now, I normally say it's like a big Boy Scout kind of union. We are here as a common goal to help all these, and I hope everybody will give a hand and make that happen. When you step into your first meeting, you sign a code of conduct. There's some confidentiality built into that. And when I onboard new mentors, I make quite a show of telling them that they're not here for their own benefit. So if you come as an investor or as a consultant, the mentor meetings are not to help your own business. You are here to help the people of the startups when you are in the role. It doesn't mean that as an investor you cannot participate. You just need to control the caps you are wearing at the time. This is the detailed code of conduct. I will not bore you with all of it, but we basically in one page address both the role you go into, how to get in and out of the program, how to avoid conflicts of interest. On the confidentiality part, me and Margarita at least had a discussion because teams only could push sometimes, do you need an NDA, or how to protect our secret? Will mentors run away with our idea? And normally my generic guidance for this is that a lot of the business advice don't need fully to understand the secret of your technology. You can basically say it's a black box, you put this in and this comes out. How do I make money with that? So a lot of the business talks don't have to be detailed into innovation or patent. So that's my generic guidance. Don't be so worried about it. But if you are, make an NDA. That's okay. From an ecosystems point of view, I think our mentors very easily become ambassadors. So actually both promoting the university, but especially our cases to the industry. A stronger network towards customer, meaning that mentors here, we hope that you actually sometimes can help point to a customer, help open a door to a customer. You don't have to, but it's clearly a role you can take. We can sometimes also be an open door where you actually have people who could gain working with the university. So you could see yourself as an open door into the university as well. The professionalism part is that for me it's really strong. I have a lot of very good colleagues, but I think sometimes staff at the university can have a hard time in letting go and understanding they don't know everything. So I think mentors really help sometimes staff to understand their own limitations because you know so much about what you come from. So to just have a small idea of staff cannot do it all. It's important. Predator offering is basically that if we don't have strong, open programs where we engage with mentors like you, we could have people running around doing on their own and actually asking both for equity and money when we can do it as a professional volunteer service through you. So making a program actually helps. From a mentor point of view, some of you may have a chance to give back where you came yourself from, to stay connected with it, to build your own network, and to both get energy and have fun. I think is a thing I often hear from mentors. So I hope you will experience that. Then we had a short idea that we should try to engage with you mentors. So could we take around for you who are here as a mentor? Maybe a few words on your background. I would also it would be nice to hear what you hope to get out of this engagement. So is that okay with you? Should we, I don't know who is here as mentor, but should we start with you?
It's going to be fun because day to day is a little bit boring with accounting and administrating and stuff. You miss out on startups. So yeah, this is it.
Yeah, cool. Should we continue? We take the row by row. So that's you. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Sandinos. I'm portfolio manager at Eurobank, managing portfolios for individuals and institutions. My background is services, relationship management, sales. I have experience working in
Yep, cool. I'm sure you can help, so don't worry. Nope. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I brought mentors.
There's a microphone. Perfect. Can you hear me? I think it's on. Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Petros. Very nice to be here. Thanks for the invitation. I'm a venture investor. I've been in deep tech investing in Europe for the last 6 years, and recently moved back to Cyprus, where my home is, and very keen to give something back with my experience and help the local ecosystem here. Once upon a time, I used to be a physicist, so technology and this sort of deep tech is very much in my blood. So yeah, very happy to support here.
I don't think I need a mic, but anyway. Hi everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Raluca Iwanaman. I'm the founder of R7 and the Business Society Accelerator. My background is in business strategy. Not with me. Okay, so my background is in business development and strategy, working a lot mainly with pivoting and M&As. I look forward to this program. Fun, everybody mentioned it, so it's the word of, we should use it, #fun. We all want that, but we definitely are here because we want to give back, but also to learn. Because what I've noticed in every single mentorship journey, as a mentor, I learn, I realize that I don't know enough, that I need to learn and find out more. And I feel super grateful and blessed to have these opportunities. So yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Solina Socratus. I am a strategist for business growth and also privacy law. So I help businesses in their scaling phase to grow their profit and double it in most of the cases in 1 year. And also I worked with negotiating investment portfolios of 8 billion or more in London. And also I have a community for women in business. The name is Business is Female, which was embraced here in Cyprus a lot. And other than my own initiatives, I'm also the Chief Communication Officer at the Russian-speaking investment company. And this is me in a nutshell. I'd love to work with you, and thank you very much for having me here. It is such an honor. And I'm looking forward to work with everyone.
Hi, I am Philippos. I'm currently the CEO of PwC here in Cyprus. In my 37 years in PwC that I'm concluding this year, I've had the privilege of being a consultant through most of my years. So I've been heading business consulting and everything that goes in that area. I have been coaching and mentoring leaders in various disciplines. I'm an accredited coach for leadership development. So I'm very excited to join this community because, like it was mentioned, it's a co-creation, co-learning experience. We are living in an amazing time in humanity. I'm very excited about the fantastic potential that we have ahead of us, but at the same time, dealing with all this disruption and tension in society as well. So being able to create innovation and create value in today's conditions is a challenge, but an amazing experience for all of us. So joining forces and experiences with that positive outlook for the future is something that I believe will add fun to our lives that we greatly need as well. So thank you for that. Am I the last one? No.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Philip Ammerman. I'm originally a consultant. In 2010, I had the first of 3 midlife crises so far, and I decided to start investing in startups. If you recall, that was when the Greek financial crisis was taking place, and my partners and I kind of decided that rather than being passive consultants, we have to try to do a little bit and help the situation. So we made a commitment to support one startup a year between 2010 and 2020. We have since extended that. It's been a crazy journey. We've had some exits, some failures, some break-evens, some zombies, pretty much, nearly every situation around. In my day job, I consult the European Institute for Innovation and Technology, the EIC, and some other multilateral investment banks and funds on real economy investments and tech investments. I've known Maria since 1996, I think, when she was at the Cyprus Development Bank, and I'm really happy and really honored to be working with her, and excited to be here and to try to do a bit for Cyprus. I'm originally Greek American, but I did move here full time in 2016, right after Brexit. Thank you. Thanks. Yes, I definitely qualify as well.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I've known Maria since 1976. Anybody can beat that? Yes, we were at school together, and Maria had this amazing energy and enthusiasm and drive for quality that has made her so successful today. I've worked with Maria in the last few years, helping the teams pitch. And I absolutely love that moment where somebody who was shy and a little bit confused about how to talk about their innovation or their startup, when that transforms into clarity, into focus, into audience engagement, that moment is magical for me, and it's fun, it's rewarding, it's my everything. So I hope to be able to assist in that way, and it will be a privilege, an honor, and a lot of fun. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Talo Haralambous. I'm currently the CEO for the Larnaca and Famagusta hospitals of the State Health organization. In the past, I used to work for a multinational pharmaceutical company for almost 18 years. In between, I had my own company, and what I enjoy the most is how to bring ideas into the business world. My background is healthcare related. I'm a geneticist by background. I have not used it. But I'm mostly interested into bridging this world between the ideas and the real world. And as I was just telling now to Raluca, right now I have been in the role for 4 months. For me, being here is an opportunity. For me personally, what I gain is to be able to understand what innovation is coming, but also to stay relevant, because working also in a completely different environment from what we are used to in the startup world grounds us in a different way. So for me, it's also an opportunity to support teams in giving them the real challenges that they may face when going out there trying to commercialize their products and their ideas. Looking forward to. Thank you.
Great. And now we are gonna test if we can go online. So I hope, Hans Christian, I think you have the picture on. Let's see if we can hear you.
Hi, everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, it works.
Okay, great. I'm Hans Christian Petersen. I've been with the Skylab mentoring program for about a year now. I have a long background in life sciences, in both R&D and then later on in marketing and business development and sales. So have worked with a couple of startups in the last year. Also part of the DTU Skylab mentoring program. So pleasure to meet everyone and look forward to learning more about these businesses and hopefully supporting their journey to success.
Great, thank you. And Jesper, you are next up. You are muted, Jesper.
About that. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Good. All right. Thanks. Yeah, my background is in business development and management in medtech companies. I have done a good exit as a CEO of a medtech, done VC investments in the same field for 7 years. I've also run a startup where we ended up going bankrupt. We then acquired the assets ourselves afterwards. And now I do strategic consulting mainly for medtech companies. And latest here last month, we closed an exit of a company here in Denmark. So yeah, I think that's mainly sort of in business development, strategic collaboration agreements, financing, go-to-market, stuff like that. I am an engineer by background in medical electronics and physics, but yeah, I think that's probably it.
Great, thank you. And then I'm curious if Martin is online still. Can you hear us, Martin?
Yes, I can.
Great.
Good. And the picture sound is on?
Yep, we can hear you.
Good. My name is Martin. I'm really looking forward. I have a background as a management consultant, being in corporate strategy and business development for a number of years. Got tired of making PowerPoints. Nothing happened. So I was participating in starting a number of business areas, from chocolate to clean tech to deep tech. And for the past 10 years, I've been involved in designing accelerator programs and helping startups towards spinning out and scaling up. I really look forward to joining this program.
Great. Thank you, Martin. And then I'm on, Mariella, are you a mentor? I'm unsure. No, you are here? Okay, so you're just logged on. Sorry. Then we are actually back to the presentation, right? Yeah. And just for your knowledge, all about like how will you be grouped, and Margarita will come into like how the practicalities will be. So we'll get back. I know you are waiting for some more like what's next step in the mentor. But before that, I will at least talk a bit about some DTU experiences to hope inspire you. This is just to say, in DTU, how do I go out to a team and actually tell them what they can sign up for? So this is my one slide to a team. If you make this one pager, which is basically their mentor application, I can match you. We are building on our MIT VMS best practice framework, as told by Maria, and we normally match 3 mentors, which I basically tell we are like a small initial business advisory board. We meet together in the same room, and I like to be it physically, but it can be done virtually. A typical mentor run at DTU is 6 meetings, 1 per month. But to be honest, we actually discuss with the team and the mentors when to take the next, and we can go above 6 if we want to. We could go below 6 if we want to. Basically, as long as mentors and team want to meet, I normally don't say no. So long as it makes sense for everybody, we keep on. But as a mentor, I think it's okay to say I cannot contribute anymore to this team. And as a team, it's okay to say that we don't have the time or actually the need for you right now. Let's get back to it later. In Skylab, we actually feel ourselves as hosts. So we book the rooms, we give a good cup of coffee from the cafe. And if we have eternal business developers connected to the team, it's important to remember to get them on board also. After that, a mentor run is basically the team's meeting. They are the content provider of it, they are the star of the show, and we meet around what they want to talk about. And a way to control that is to put out an agenda in advance. I normally guide the team to. I know the times here are a bit different in your initial test, but Margarita will get into that. This with team mentoring. basically means that there's more than one mentor. And many mentor programs I have seen only match one mentor. This is from the VMS, and it, to be honest, is really important. You both network, so you actually get to learn other people's. You learn much more when you hear other mentors, both maybe in how to mentor, but also in what they basically tell the team. You also have a chance sometimes to lean back when you are like one mentor. It's basically you all the time reading from your own book. So to lean back and listen and think a bit is really helpful. So it's a teamwork between mentors in the team. Try to engage in different ways. As a team, sometimes I think when it's one mentor, you tend to basically say yes to it all and do what you're told. When there's a lot of mentors saying you cannot actually use that strategy as a team, you need to listen, because there's so much being told that you cannot just write everything down. So a lot of advice is basically like blowing them through with advice. They need to actually make their own opinion about what you say. So it's also helpful for the teams, even though they can be a bit overwhelmed at times. This is what I tell teams, how to be a good mentee. First off, I talk about coachability, which I normally say as being curiously open to other people's opinion. You don't have to agree, but actually have an open mindset and listen. The rest of it is basically respecting your free time. So a team, good behavior is actually be there on time, remember what you agreed on, and make sure that you as volunteers don't feel you are wasting time on teams who are not respectful. Then I have a few slides on what you might experience stepping into the mentor role. I will talk a bit about what gives you a mentor identity, and then a few tips on how to engage as a mentor. First one, I think I have been told many times, it's okay to take pride in it. Examples here are from Skylab mentors who very, very clearly brag about being mentor on their LinkedIn profile. So that's at least a way to say they're really proud of it. You can see several of them actually has as their main job, deep tech business mentor. And you should know that Mads Winblad, he has been a CTO of Nokia, the full Nokia, working from Finland. Sten Skjold have been a senior vice president for a very big Danish deep tech called Novonesis. So really prominent people saying this is what I mainly do now. So build up and make sure that people are allowed to take pride and actually brag about it. I think this is a talking point. It would be nice maybe to hear from you. When you hear mentor, coach, consultant, what do you think? What are really the differences? If anyone has like an idea, it's okay to put up your hand. You don't have to. No? Yeah?
I think the main difference maybe is you learn from failed examples. So like a mentor can probably say like, I did this and failed.
Yeah.
The other two are probably like paid or,
yeah,
experiences from books.
Yeah. Good, that's a good point. Any other takes?
I guess a mentor is more like a therapist. So you're there to listen and guide rather than give solutions.
Yeah. Yep, over here.
I believe that they are very similar and interconnected. Maybe the difference is the way of providing advice and also to who you are providing the advice. So the title may make the resistance less in terms of receiving the advice as well.
Yeah, I like that. And online, maybe just now take the word because I cannot see hands. So if one of you want to say something, now is the time. They don't have to, so that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a spectrum of ownership of roles in the interpersonal, let's say, relationship. Consultant is associated more with somebody providing advice, more of a one-way stream.
Yeah.
Coach has a bit of I have a responsibility to coach, and I'm helping the other. But even within coaching, there is the space of discovery. You want the other person to discover and take ownership of their own solutions, and coach being a mirror.
Yeah.
So focusing on the individual for discovery. Mentor then goes, and I agree with the more practical enablement and being part of a journey, but I think the ownership stays even more on the mentoree, and the coach is more working on providing different perspectives, different contexts, and different experiences to facilitate that journey. That's how I would differentiate it.
Yeah, I like that explanation a lot. If I should make my own, I would probably start with a coach. I agree a lot on the mirror. A coach is basically not using their own experience. They're basically good at making people work with their own convictions already. So like, what do you feel? And always mirror back. Consultant for me is like coming in, doing a job, going away. And then it's up to the team to work with what they delivered, and probably for money. So that's also normally a thing with consultants. For me, coach mentors is a bit in between. They both have the knowledge, and they can also work with people's conviction. But then the essence is they have their own experience. So everything's come down to you as a person actually working with the team. So just to help like your mental mindset coming in. You come in as a person, and you have experience you share. Another thing of like the mentor identity, and for me that's, if I should say one word that defines a strong mentor meeting, it's trust. And there's actually research about trust. So I like to put up this slide, which basically say that there's 3 ingredients to trust, which is funny to think about: ability, benevolence, and integrity. And if I should help you a bit about in the mentor role, how to like be trustworthy, I would say, don't forget at least to tell your experience. Don't hold back. It builds trust that they know they're sitting in front of persons who have actually tried stuff, who have done things, who maybe have made big decisions. Benevolence for me is like you should at least show your intent to act. So they have an idea when they see you and talk with you, there's actually a chance that you will do stuff about it. You don't have to over-exaggerate that, but I think that's a good way to build trust, that people have a feeling that if you are convinced, you will actually do stuff. And integrity is basically don't hold back on your own personal convictions, ethics, moral codex, and so on. That builds trust. Now we go into, and I think the slide pretty much tells itself a bit about how to work with especially researchers going into commercial things. So I like the face on this researcher because it's a bit about not respecting it that much and maybe being a bit afraid of it also. So when researchers go into commercial, especially this is for early teams, I would say, to not talk down to the few researchers we have in the room. It's completely okay to see a person that is really good at something, but maybe not strong in the commercial, and it can be hard for a person who is really good at something, and maybe people recognize that, to step into a room where they're not specialists anymore, and they don't know anything. So a lot of a good mentor is actually saying it's okay, let's meet where you actually know, and it's okay that we explain basic things to begin with. Don't... So let them in and try. My experience with researchers, if you get them interested in business topics, they are really good learners, and it can go extremely fast. But they don't do it unless they really like it. So what are the researchers there? What is your? Can you see yourself in anything I say? Point to that guy.
Yeah, so the question is how we see ourselves in this
position.
It's
more like you are really, really skilled people and have learned for a long time in your research area. But when it comes to actually talking about how to make a business around that, you may not that skilled yet.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we're not trained to build business. We're trained to make research.
Yeah,
and, that's where the mentorship comes to bridge this gap, I think.
Yeah. And if I should interview you, if a mentor should help you in that journey, what would it take? Could you put some word on what would be helpful?
I think first of all, of course, making the business plan and everything. This is quite useful. I think access to network. This is difficult for researchers, I think, because we are in the lab most of the time, so we don't socialize very much. What else? Yeah, and getting the pitching skills as well.
Yeah.
Teaching,
Yeah.
These kind of skills that you need to get funding.
Yeah.
And yeah, access to VCs, maybe.
Yeah.
These are a few things that I would expect personally from.
I'm cool, and it clearly, it's clear that you have thought about this. I meet researchers who cannot put that into words yet, so that's also quite normal for some. So good job. I always also tell mentors that researchers, when you meet them, especially in early teams, please remember they are researchers, maybe even full-time researchers, and are maybe considering where their journey is going. Are they going to go out and be an entrepreneur, or are they at some point going back to be researchers? There's no wrong or right, but I think a mentor job is to help them decide. When they decide, we can actually work with it. So a researcher deciding that I will follow this case for a few years, then I'll be a researcher again, then we can actually build a team. If it's a researcher going out saying, I want to go to the full, actually changing careers, then we can tell them how to be a really strong entrepreneur after. But the initial step is actually to make them work with their own, both situation in life and what they really want to do with it. Yeah, and then the last slides is just for inspiration. When you have a running mentor program, that's also for Maria and staff, is what can you actually build on top on? We have 2 new offerings at Skylab based on our way of working with mentors. I'll just shortly tell you about. The first one is what is called a commercial co-founder run. We can actually help build teams. So I really like this top 20 reasons why startups fail. It's an analysis, I believe, comes out every year. A firm top 3 is always these topics. And of course, no market is really crucial. And you can die on that. And your cash, of course, is very common also to die on. But right on the third is the team. A really strong team is extremely important. At Skylab, but actually across all Danish universities, we have a program now where basically teams can apply for the first commercial co-founder, meaning the first strong business driver in a more technical research-based team. And we actually use our mentor program both to ask you if you want the role, but we also hope you will promote it when we ask you. So it's a big LinkedIn campaign where mentors are supporting and recommending and thinking about who could be the persons to step into a team. So you can do this. This is the last month. So we actually have an ongoing round now with 22 teams looking for a commercial co-founder. So it's a full-blown running program. Yeah. Investor readiness, we have a lot of investors in the room, so I'm curious to hear what you think. We have for many years had the problem at Skylab that when investors contact us, typically to see which early teams do we actually have. It's been very, very random if they actually got to talk to the team, depending on what staff knew what, and it was not organized at all. We are hoping to make it like a firm meeting place between investors looking for early cases and cases learning from that experience from the investors. The basic idea is that we as a university, of course, get stronger by having a small ecosystem for investors. As a pre-startup, that's the early team. You actually talk to an investor to not get money now, but understand what it takes to get money. So it is investor readiness. It's not investment program. You can go into this trust-based kind of meetings as mentors program have taught us, and you also learn to make investor updates. So if you have initial interest from investors, you learn how to keep that warm. The investors we have talked to actually like to have this first look. They may even save some time in us preparing teams and showing them without them actually scouting everything themselves. And then there's a lot of them saying that it's the best part of the investor's job is to talk to these early teams. So some of them really, really like it. So that's a program test we're doing at the moment. I think it's 15 teams talking to 15 investors at the moment. So yeah, I will not go to that. I think that's basically, Maria, what I hope to say.
I think if there are any questions about the experience of DTU, this is the time to ask. I guess one question I have is, how did you manage to have so many mentors? I understand that they're now coming to you and asking to be engaged. How did you achieve this?
Yeah, so how did we grow? We started up with a small group of business inventors, basically from personal network. We built on that in two ways. One is that we had mentors recommend mentors. So basically, the mentors in the room here could be like the gateway. And one of my sister program actually still have, they need a mentor to vouch for them to be taken seriously. So it's a bit like a small, like you say, community in that way. The other thing we did is actually reach out to alumni through our alumni program in DTU. So everyone who have been through university is seen as a potential mentor.
But also, is there more of a culture in Denmark in terms of giving back? How do you think is the culture in Denmark compared to other European countries?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Cyprus well enough, but I'm sure that in Denmark we have a lot of pride in actually helping the university. So, but if we are very different than you, I don't know enough, to be honest. So, yeah, it's a comment.
Thank you very much. This is an impressive initiative. And actually, I have some perspective in terms of the cooperation because I'm from the legal sector as well. So Denmark is impressive at setting the standards in terms of AI legislation. And it is one of the first in Europe. So this is very impressive. And we can see that the startups and the business world is going with that flow as well. So thank you very much for this presentation. I wanted to ask more details in terms of the commercial co-founder. Is it an investor who is involved in the managing of the company, or is it just somebody from the commercial landscape helping with the pillars in the business development?
The offering, the commercial co-founder, is not about investment. It's sweat equity based. So you basically come in. What we say to external is at least 1 day per week. And in the end, you will be co-founder, meaning you are on the cap table. But we insist that there's at least a 3-month period you try to work, call that a grace period, before we promise anything. So it's like the promise of being a co-owner is not about money. It's only time.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if you answered the full question, but we clearly have a culture where we like to give back. Yeah.
It's beginning in Cyprus as well.
Yeah.
I guess one last question for me is, how many years have you been dealing with the program in Skylab yourself, Jens?
How many what?
Years have you been dealing with the program?
I'm on, I think I'm 9 years in DTU, and I think pretty much I started building when I came, so 8.5 years.
Okay, so you know a lot about the people who have been engaged as mentors.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about the people, the average age of these people? Are they retired people? Are they people who, I don't know, used to be scientists and became successful with their startup? What is the mix of the most active of your mentors?
Yeah. I think Jesper and Hans Christian and Martin online today is a good representative. Of course, we also have female, I would like to say, so that's quite important. It's not only male-driven, but I think the place in their career is typically, and I hope not to I hope to boost you out there when I say this, is the strong last part of your career, but very active industry-wise normally. I think maybe 1 in 4 is retired, so it's not a big thing, and maybe also 1 in 4 is in the early stage of their career. So the normal average is in the late stage of the career, where you hopefully, as a person, start to have some individual freedom, both maybe in the family, but also about money and your life situation.
So hello everyone. Maria talked to us and explained to us about the vision of this program and why it's important. Jens, who have been collaborating the last year through the Phaethon, present to you the Skylab methodology. And now it's the time to tell you how we will implement it in practice in Cyprus. First of all, I would like to say that this is a pilot phase that will take place from May to December, 6 months. And this means that we will receive your feedback during this phase. We will take it into account and we'll adjust it so we can be sure that this mentoring program will be aligned to the needs of the startups and the ecosystem. So we're going to build this together. So the first thing we did is that we needed to identify the first mentees, the first startups, and the first cohort of mentors. We follow a very structured and procedure to do that. We've searched to identify startups from Cyprus and UK. They had to be research-based and with high potential. And also, we use our existing network of mentors from the US, the DTU Skylab network. You have seen the 3 mentors that they will be part of the teams that we created. And also, the most important group is you, the local mentors, which is something important and something that was missing until now. Here I want to specify that when we scout to find the startups, at the same time we were making a survey about their needs in order to make sure that we will select the right mentors and also to validate the fact that our existing offering that we have given to the research teams, it was relevant to them. And guess what? It is. So the selection, the next stage was to do the matching between the mentors and the teams. We have already knew the needs of each team. I have already sent you the 1-pager with a short description about the problem and the solution and what they would like to receive in terms of mentoring and guidance. We of course take into account your preferences and the specific expertise, because we wanted to create a team of mentors that the expertise will be complementary. Jens talked a lot about trust, and also in the MIT VMS service, it's very important for this program to be successful, for the startups and the mentees to feel safe and to be able to create a long-term relationship. And how we will do that, already Jens presented to you the code of contact, which is much simpler than the one that we received from the MIT. And this is the value from our partners, that they simplified, after 10 years, the VMS MIT methodology, and now we are learning from them, and we are avoiding I mean, we're not losing time and we're avoiding some challenges. The code of conduct, of course, will include a conflict of interest. It's important for the mentors not to have any conflict. For example, if they would like to invest in the teams, they need to tell us, and then they should leave the team. And there is a time period. They need 30 days after they will invest to the team. This is one example of what the code of conduct and conflict of interest has. And because we know that some of the startups in Cyprus, they would like to have an NDA agreement. Maybe for some of you, you will have to sign an NDA. Tomorrow, Jens and I, we will have meetings with the 3 startups that you will also see in 10 minutes. And we will check with them if they are okay, and if they feel safe with the code of conduct. And they will let us know if they will need an NDA. And also we will prepare them about the mentoring procedure so they can do this experience more valuable. And how we will support them. We have been already talked about a team mentoring. In practice, what does this mean? This team will consist of the Cyprus Seeds facilitator, which will be me, and I will coordinate the meeting between the mentors and the startups, and also I will be present to every meeting to make sure that everything is okay and smooth. Then we have the mentor, the core team of mentors, that is consists of local and international mentors. I would like to pause here and say why local and internationals. We have been receiving feedback the last 7 years that our international mentors were very important to our program. Then we went to MIT and they told us, they advised us to have only local mentors because it's very important to have the in-person meetings as they are done in Skylab. Also, Skylab offers coffee to their mentors during the meetings. So we make a lot of thinking, so only locals, internationals. We know from our teams that they value the international mentors a lot, but at the same time, they needed some local support. Also, when we assess the needs of the startups, we realize that local and international mentors can provide different value. So we decided to do this, to combine those, the local and the international mentors, and have our meetings online, although according to the best practice, this will be in person. But we believe that this is the best for Cyprus. We have been doing it anyway 7 years, only with international mentors, and we believe we can make it to be successful. Also, in addition to the mentor team, we have special experts in very specific areas like IP, legal, marketing, HR, and pitching, that they will be based on the needs of each team. For example, if during the meeting we will realize that the team should be advising the IP strategy, then we will arrange Cyprus Seeds, a meeting between the team and the IP expert. We started trying this methodology during our 4th cycle in January, and we saw that is very good. So we will continue doing it now in this program. This is the 3 startups that they will participate in this pilot phase. You already receive information about them. They are all research-based and with a high potential. And they are from the health sector and food tech, I'm sorry. This is the matching we did for each startup. You can see here your name. I would like to say that we have together the local mentors and the mentors from Skylab, but we will have an additional onboarding session with our mentors from the US who they could not be now with us because they need to be aligned and to be informed about the procedure. And also, here are our specialist experts whom we will be in contact and connected with the startups when needed. Here is how we will have the mentoring session. I would like to say that in Denmark, the mentoring session in 1 hour and a half, but due to our experience, we believe 1 hour, it's more than enough because it's going to be online, which is, the attention span is different, but if you will tell us that you need more hour, then we will, more time, then we will adjust. But based on our experience, 1 hour, it will be okay. So it's very important to know that the mentoring session will be led by the mentees. It will be structured, as you can see. There are 5 specific steps. And we are trying, this methodology is to provide the highest impact that we can provide to the team. And here is what's next, the next steps. By the end of April, we will send you the agreements that needs to be signed, and they are currently under evaluation, and we are receiving feedback with the support of Jens. And tomorrow we will see them with the startups. In May, we will have the first mentoring session. This mentoring session will be organized by me. I will send and doodle so we can see when you are available and find a time that you all can do it. Jens will also join us during the first mentoring. We will do the introduction and have some discussions about the needs of the team. And after that, there's going to be a monthly ongoing support by the regular mentoring team, as well as the ad hoc support from the specialty experts. It doesn't have to be 1 mentoring per month. This, as Jens said before, it should be decided between the team and the mentees based on the challenges and the things that they would like to do and the next steps. And as Maria said, we will try to do it fun for you. And this is our giving back to you and an appreciation for providing your time pro bono and your expertise. So today, after this event, we will have our networking event where you can talk more with the startups. On the 19th of May, 2 MIT mentors who are currently mentors of our existing teams will be in Cyprus. One of them is the director of the Despande Center of the MIT. They will be in Cyprus for our innovation showcase that will happen in Doer Summit. And we will organize a private dinner so the local mentors can spend time with them and share experience and learn from them regarding mentoring. If any of you would like to attend the Doer Summit, we can provide you with free tickets, and you can also attend the activities that Cyprus City is organizing. We will organize a pitching event with selected startups and selected group of investors. And also we will have our 4th innovation showcase with panelists from abroad, and where we will present our 5 teams. And in November, we will organize an exclusive community gathering where you will have the opportunity to meet with the donors of Cyprus Seeds and the board of directors who come from PwC, Leventis family, Lanitis Group, Eurobank, and others. We are together in this, we are not alone. We will be together in this journey. For this program, we have the leadership of Maria Marquidou. I will be leading it, and we also have the support of Nicola and Mariella, who you can see. If you haven't met them, stand up so they can see you. Nicola, Jaron, and Mariella. It's a team effort. We can't do it alone. And also, we will have with us the network of sister programs of the MIT. One of them is Skylab, who we already started collaborating, and we started exploring how we can make it this sustainable, this collaboration. And also we can learn and identify more support from the other 139 sister programs from the US and Europe. A huge thank you to the Phaethon project and to the US Embassy of Cyprus, who have been supporting financially this project. Without them, we couldn't have done it. And of course, our mentors, our donors, the AG Leventis Foundation, the Hellenic Initiative, the government, who also supported financially this initiative. Maria, I think you haven't mentioned that to license the MIT VMS program, it was $40,000. That, I think, okay. Yeah, so you can understand why we need the donors and the projects. And of course, this starts with you. If this program is going to be successful, a huge part of the success and depends on you, and we look forward to do this trip together, this journey. Λοιπόν, τώρα έχουμε ακόμα 30 λεπτά για να παρουσιάσουμε τα 3 startups. Να ξεκινήσουμε πρώτα με τον Τζίνι. Είναι μαζί μας η Αγνιούσκα και ο Άντα. Ωραία. Θα σταματήσω να κάνω share την οθόνη μου για να μπορέσετε, Ανούσκα και Ανδρέα, να κάνετε share την οθόνη σας. Χαίρετε. We have to keep it in English. We also have people from the US, George Mapri. How, George? Thank you for joining us. Nick Kounoupias from the UK. And George Likorezos from US again. Thank you for joining us. And now it's time to see the presentations of the 3 teams.
Okay. So I am Vasilis Joseph. I'm the co-founder of Freya Labs and the CEO and other co-founder is here as well, Greta. And we built this with sweat and tears. We're building Forsetics, is a governance-first fermentation system for operation and intelligent platforms designed for SMEs. And why does this matter? Well, fermentation seems simple. Salt, material, time, and there you go, you have fermentation. And that is the reality until you try to do something complicated, or more importantly, you do it as a business and you try to scale it. And scaling changes everything. The moment you try to scale something like a biological process, you start losing control of it. You start experiencing things that you saw in small scale that don't apply to you anymore. And you wonder, why was one batch a certain way and the same recipe, the same thing I did, came out different? And that really matters for small companies when you're looking at a business and the bottom line. And we didn't really discover this as a theory. We lived it firsthand. We created a research brand called Fire Alchemy, and we actually grew this 400% over the years that we've been running it personally. And we witnessed what happens when a small batch is transitioned into much bigger batches. We know the pain that small to medium-sized food and beverage producers face. And we did what any business aims to do. We tried to stabilize our production. We tried to find ways to stop wasting money and just perfect our art. We looked at different tools. We looked at digital logs, sensor kits, and trackers, and they didn't satisfy us. What they did is they gave us numbers, they gave us a view into what is happening, but they didn't really tell us why and how. And producers suffer the same thing. Producers need clarity, they need insight, and they need action. They need to know what to do, not just see it, the number, because you don't know what it means when you're a small producer. And last year, we got accepted into EIT Food, and we validated what we're aiming to do and what we're doing. We interviewed hundreds of SMEs from America, from England, from Europe. And we found that 78% of these small to medium-sized companies are using manual or the most basic ways to control their fermentation process. When you talk to somebody and you ask them, like a kombucha maker in Cyprus, you ask them, how do you know it's right? How do you know what you're doing? What are you doing to succeed? They say, well, I know what's right or wrong. And I write it on a piece of pen and paper, and I try to keep track of it. And what happens when you grow? What do? He says, well, we get more people, we try to expand what we do, and we try to find more ways to log everything and stay on top. But the reality is that doesn't really work. If you look at all the numbers around, that's the failure rates that was from the results of our interviews, our surveys. So we created Forsetics. It's designed to do multiple things. It's not just an optimization tool. It's a governance tool. It comes in and enforces certain procedures and way of running it. It obviously monitors it, but it doesn't monitor it with just numbers. It monitors it through intelligence. It predicts what's going to happen, and it tells you what you should do when this is going to happen. It has guardrails. We also put a reverse process, because that was something we realized that small to medium-sized producers need. They don't have the knowledge to make new things. They spend endless hours doing research, testing. But what if a system could come in and tell them how to succeed their goals? A system that can tell you, I want to achieve this flavor profile with these benefits, and it comes and tells you how to move forward. And more importantly, as a food producer, you need to be compliant. You need to have governance. And we can't do anything before without having workflows, without having HACCP, without having standard operating procedures and governance. So we created an entire tool for the lifespan of the whole process of fermentation. Without fix, most companies have waste, variability, and uncertainty. This isn't good for a business. Waste, we lived it when somebody comes to us and tells us, this is not the same as always. When you make a batch that took a year to do, and it ends up in the garbage, and you don't know why, and you don't know how to make it better. With our system, you gain control, consistency, and confidence, and that's exactly what you need. So how big is the market? This isn't about the tech market. This is the market where our customers are working in, because the customer is what's important. Right now, fermented food and beverage stands at an enormous market, and it's expected to grow to 1 trillion plus by 2032. And the backbone of that market is not the top companies. It's the small to medium-sized players which are left behind, and they make up 99% of that market, and they equate to 50% of the economic value. Those people who are left behind, those unique players that don't know why things are failing, are actually a huge part of the food system. Now let's talk about the actual tech side of the business, what the potential is. Well, it's also quite big, and it's growing rapidly. The growth is really what counts right here. It's 40% growth. And we're targeting 30,000 SMEs within the region. So no need to go into the numbers. They're enormous. And this is just for food and beverage. As a side note, our platform may be for food and beverage right now, and that's what we're targeting because that's what we understand, but it can do many other things, including industry, fermentation is fermentation, and medicine. It's a process that we can optimize and control. Our validation. We do have 7 letters already from big companies from all over Europe. We have 220 plus SMEs on waiting list. We've gained 175,000 in non-dilutive funding. The recent one, which I highlighted there, was we were one of the lucky 7 to get pre-seed funding from RIF. And we're in TRL 4, which basically means we are piloting with customers now. We've done our own stuff, now we're moving on. We've reached 28 countries, and this was with the help of EIT Food Seedbed. It was significant for us. We are not doing this just because we feel like it. We're doing it because we know our customers. So we did a few tests internally. This was our own internal validation, and we saw what we can achieve. Lower energy use, reduction of waste of raw material, fewer batch failures. The margins, this is really important. When you're in the food business, the margins are really tight. So every cent counts. And then we go into the environmental aspect. 3.4 tons of CO2 for a research brand like Fire Alchemy. I mean, if you take that into consideration, we're talking about taking off a block of cars out of the road. So imagine if we scaled it to 1,000 companies, what that means. That's it, okay. So what we've done Fire Alchemy now, and we got funding from the United Nations, where we run a project. It was the UNDP program. They funded us 20,000 euros to build a pilot for them. And what we did was, how do we deal with waste? Well, instead of making food, how about we make compost and fertilizer? Same thing, instead of eating it, let's put it in the ground with waste products. And that was Fertilix. It works. It does work. Oops, I went back. Some of the companies that have supported us, I'll be fast. What we're looking for, okay, it's steep, but we are a deep tech company. We don't want to play. We don't want to risk people's money. We need to go deep. We know exactly where this money goes. Scientists are not cheap, so we need to provide for them and make sure they're dedicated. This is our current team. We're 11 people right now. I'm just showing some of the core. Everybody here loves what we do, believes what we do, and has experience to make it happen. I'm not going to go into details, but we know what we're doing, and we've had mentors along the way to help us. Lots of these people, there's many more people that are behind it. That's a bit of our traction. We started back in 23, going through many, many programs, and we built along the way. If somebody wants to see this in detail, they can, but we've been around. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. Any questions? Yes.
How did you convince the SMEs to interview to tell you
Yes.
how they run their business?
So the best thing about being a producer ourselves is we know the name, we know the game. When I go to talk to a SME, I don't approach them like a researcher of a deep tech company. I approach them like somebody who knows their pains, and I interview them. I go there with the perspective of, I'm here to hear you, I'm funded by Europe to know your pains, tell me your problems, and I'll send that message to Europe. So I play kind of like the devil's advocate. I did that 300 times, okay? With Greta, we went crazy. So we don't approach SMEs to sell them something. We approach them to learn from them. And that's how we do it. Yeah.
One last question,
Yes.
because we don't have time.
Yes.
you mentioned that the tool, I think it's called Fix, that does not just like data processing or something. It has some governance and it tells you the solution that
Yes.
you should
Yes.
you should adopt. How did you create this database of solutions?
So,
we
so
didn't see
it is an
anything about
AI solution. I didn't say it out loud. It's a deep tech. It uses machine learning, and we trained it on data sets. Machine learning and the internet has lots and lots of data. But more importantly, what we're doing is some of our core features are out of the box, ready to use, and you'll benefit. Like HACCP, like the governance, those are hard-coded Rails. When you start using our system, it will start learning from your data. And that data is what builds your unique model. So we've trained it to have a foundation, but I can't tell you your recipe. I can't tell you your success. But what I can do is guide your parameters, and you build your success, and we repeat it. Once we start repeating it, then we can start optimizing it. It's a process.
Ανδρέα και Ανούσκα, είσαστε μαζί μας. Για να κάνετε share την παρουσίασή σας.
Yes, we'll share the presentation.
Yes, I can share our screen. Sharing now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Thank you for your flexibility. You have 5 minutes, okay?
It's 5 minutes, okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Anushka, the CEO and co-founder of Genie Fertility, and my co-founder and CTO, Andreas, is on the call too. And we are bringing precision care to uterus health. We're developing women's health diagnostics, and we're starting with the most acute need first in women's health, infertility. 320 million women struggle with infertility globally. That's 1 in 6 women, and about a quarter of that can be attributed to undiagnosed conditions in the uterus. When you think about the 4 pillars of fertility or a pregnancy, you think of the egg, the sperm, the embryo, and the uterus. But the egg, the sperm, and the embryo are robustly screened for in every fertility journey. It is always tested for. But the endometrium, the uterus lining, is left out of standard protocol. And that is because we can only access the uterus lining right now via a very painful, difficult, expensive, and often inaccurate biopsy. But conditions impacting uterine health are going undetected and creating an unfavorable environment for pregnancy. Infections, microbiome, inflammation markers, and markers related to pregnancy success are all creating the state of unexplained infertility. But every month, women have a gateway to uterine tissue and a rich reproductive data set from their menstrual blood. As menstrual blood is literally the monthly shedding of the lining of the uterus. So using menstrual blood at Genie Fertility, we are building a non-invasive diagnostic for the uterus. Why is this beneficial? It's non-invasive, so it's pain-free. It's rich in hormonal and women's health data and fertility-specific biomarkers. It's also rich in data associated with diagnosing cancers, heavy periods, endometriosis. And we're proud to say that Genie have validated the presence of fertility markers using our own proprietary processing protocol that we have developed ourselves. All the biomarkers that we look for in menstrual blood have clear medical interventions that can improve fertility success, like antibiotics, supplements, IVF timings, and embryo timings. And how have we done this so quickly? Genie is less than 2 years old. Our diagnostic is powered by our multi-omics machine learning discovery platform, built on over 200,000 patient data sets. along with our own data that we have from our wet lab. I'm actually sitting outside our lab right now, completely accelerating biomarker discovery. And the data that we're creating in the lab is really our moat for breakthroughs. And also, we're working with the world leaders in fertility to make this happen. IVF groups like CRGH, the largest IVF group in Europe, Oxford University, and ISIS in Cyprus. We also announced our 1.2 million pre-seed raise about 6 months ago. Launching with IVF clinics, our product will suggest fixes to improve fertility success up to 45%. And we use something called multi-omics, where we study the interactions between hormones and markers to personalize treatment pathways, such as antibiotics, hormone treatment, stimulation in IVF. The core team is made up of myself, Andreas, and Yafan. Andreas is a hematology specialist and has been developing diagnostics throughout his career. Yafan, our founding scientist, comes from the world-leading endometrium uterus group at Oxford University, where she has worked on ideas like this before. And our data scientist has been building AI for fertility his entire career. And then myself, I'm a geneticist, and I've also been working on the commercial side, and have a specialism of bringing diagnostics to market over the last 7 years. We also have world-class advisors from Imperial College, Harvard University, and Stanford University. The market opportunity is huge. At $500 a test, from just IVF clinics alone, Genie has a 2.5 billion market opportunity. But this is more than just an IVF product. This is for any woman trying to get pregnant on the first day of their fertility journey, to understand the health of their uterus, a 35 billion opportunity. We also believe that we can go further with the diagnostics across gynecological and reproductive health and the therapeutics market, which is a $70 billion opportunity. And the support we need from, do I have time to go through the support that we're looking forward to getting from the mentorship? Is really learning how to sell B2B and BD mentorship with clinics and hospitals, and market penetration, and building pharma relations, and introductions to US and European clinics. And support on our pipeline expansion. We're starting with fertility, but the opportunity is huge across women's health. And so we're hoping to achieve with this mentorship, which indications do we focus on, how to prioritize this. And that is a very quick overview of Genie Fertility.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for the team? I can tell you that you can meet them later. Okay, yes. Can you stop sharing the screen, Anushka, so we can see your faces? Okay, great. Thank you. Any questions?
Were the mentors assigned to Genie?
Yes, we have 3 here.
Any questions?
No, I'd just like to mention that I'm really excited to be working with you. That was such a really nice initiative and presentation. And I'm looking forward to work with you and expand this with the marvelous mentors that we have here as well. Thank you, guys. That was amazing.
Yeah. Great. Κωνσταντίνο, να συνεχίσουμε μαζί σου. Η τελευταία μας ομάδα, Bodysense, πάλι στο healthcare και στο gaming. Εντάξει, θα το αφήσω τούτο για να τι πρέπει να κάνουμε. Κρατάθηκε το μου. Έφυγε. Πρέπει να έχω την... Εντάξει, έχω την εδώ. Εντάξει.
Good afternoon, everyone, and special thanks to Cyprus Seeds for having us. My name is Konstantinos Irakleous. and I'm the founder and CEO of Podizens. We are a Cyprus-based deep tech startup developing advanced tactile sensing technologies for health and mobility. Over the next 5 minutes, roughly, I will walk you through the problem we are solving, our solution, the impact we see, our team, and the support we are looking from you. Okay, let me start with the problem. Force sensing is everywhere. Your phone, medical devices, wearables, your car, but almost all of it only measures in one dimension, pressure, straight down. That's it, one axis. The real world moves in 3 dimensions. Every time your foot hits the ground, every time your finger taps the surface, there is shear forces moving sideways that tell us how you're really interacting with the world. The problem is threefold. First, the few triaxial sensors that do exist are expensive and fragile. They belong in labs, they're all research-based, and they're not in shoes or any consumer product. Second, shear forces, the sideways component, that's critical for understanding gait, walking, sleeps, and natural interaction, which are almost never captured accurately. And thirdly, because of these 2 gaps, we have no affordable way to monitor impact from falls and slippages, which remains one of the biggest causes of injury in sports, rehab, and the elderly. This is the real gap in the market, and it's a gap we're trying to close. So our answer is not just another sensor, it's a full stack platform. On the left, you see our core stack, a proprietary sensing element that measures force in 3 axes, vertical load, shear, as well as torque. Second, the readout electronics that acquire the signal. Then is the calibration and software layer that turns the raw signal into a meaningful data. And the mechanical packaging that lets us drop this technology into any product. This is protected by 2 patent families, one in Europe and one in the US. And because it's a platform, the same core stack scales into multiple products. Shown here on the right, we are developing a smart INSO for gait and biomechanics, which could be used also in a clinical environment, a figure joystick for precision control in XR environments or assistive tech. And another project that we have been funded by the RIF for TriPen, which is a stylus pen for digital tablets, which will improve the stylus the concept of creative workflows. Same physics, different packaging, different markets, and that's what makes our sensors scalable. So the impact is real, both in market size and in unit economics. Healthcare sensors is a 15 billion market by 2027, growing at the rate of 12%. Wearables sits our sweet spot, which sits around 5 billion, growing much faster at 17%. And critically, our cost structure works at scale. We can manufacture the sensor at a price of 30 cents, roughly, which at scale again, at mass, we can sell it at around 10 euros. That's around 37x margin, the kind of unit economics that deep tech rarely gets right. And that's one of our advantages. We provide affordable solutions. If you compare our technologies with our competitors, we 1/10 much cheaper compared to them, and that's why one of the reasons we are doing it. And in terms of traction, we have a working prototype, patents filed in Europe and US. We are in active discussions with several companies from the US market, such as Liquidwire, Sendance from Austria, Lumia from US again, and that's for licensing our sensor technology. We have a lot of network with Nike employees. Two of our advisors are Nike, ex-Nike employees in very important roles. And more importantly, we've built our own manufacturing capability here in Cyprus. That means we control the cost, quality, and intellectual property, and we are not waiting for someone else to make this real. We are building everything ourselves from scratch. And a quick word on the team, because in deep tech, the team is often the thesis. Myself founded Podysense, which is the technology I have invented during my PhD years at UCL. Our co-founder, Maria, who sits at the back, leads the software platform. And she has a PhD from Imperial College in computational physics. A genius, if you ask me. And Irving, our veteran in engineering with at least 35 years of experience in designing electronics, real-time control and medical device engineering. He is based in the UK. He used to be my mentor during my PhD years, and also designed a PCB for the radar technology that you can find in the Eurofighter Typhoon fighter jets. Yes. And on top of that, we have strategic advisors with serious weight. Aaron Wist, a former lead engineer at Nike with over a decade in force sensing wearables, specifically on what we do. And Jorge Carpo, which is a human factors engineer, again from Nike, former employee. And also he worked on a spacesuit with NASA on the comfortability of the spacesuit on the astronauts. So in general, we have invention, hardware, software, clinical, and commercial experience from our ex-Nike advisors, all on one team. And finally, the ask, which is really two things. On capital, we are raising $500,000 for 20% equity. Roughly, from that amount, it goes 40% goes into scaling our manufacturing to version 2, 20% into regulatory, ISO 13845 and CE marking, 25% into R&D or further developing our prototypes, such as InSoul and joystick, and 15% into team acquiring more people to help us in the commercial side. And what we are genuinely looking from you as mentors is three things: introductions to strategic partners, OEMs in footwear, medical wearables or XR environments, companies, guidance on regulatory pathway for medical grade devices, and pilot customers, clinics, rehab centers, sports teams, where we can validate in the real world. That's it, thank you. And I'm very happy to take the questions.
Thank you, Constantino. So I think we finished. Maria, if you would like to say, if
Can you tell us about the team a little bit? Or you covered it now?
I would like to show a few of our products that is not just in the air. It's not imagination, out of my imagination. They exist, they're here. Our very first product, which is a product actually, it's a sensor, and the rest are prototypes. We're working now on the smart InSoul. We're also developing in parallel the joystick, and a brand new project we're working on right now, the TriPen. And I have also some videos. That's from the InSoul. see. So you get a lot of metrics from our platform here, all in 3 dimensions, which is crucial for biomechanics. And if a specialist in data bioinformatics sees this, they will understand a lot of metrics about somebody's health, about balance, and so on. I had one more slide, but it's not here, which shows a video of the actual sensor, but you can have a look in our website if you want. But yeah.
Can I ask one question from me? Was it difficult to identify a mentor in Cyprus to offer whatever you were saying you need in your presentation? Has it been difficult to identify people to support?
Maybe, but thank God I attended last year Reflect and I met Petros, who's helping a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, from Cyprus for tech startups which are really into hardware and really into technology that they develop themselves, it's much harder here in Cyprus rather than places like London or San Francisco, which we could be there, but we want to be based here in Cyprus.
And also because you have attracted funding from a number of national grant programs. Yes. and European. There isn't one program that was supportive to connect you with mentors. I'm just trying to get out of you the gap that there is here in Cyprus and the solution we are trying to give to come to the surface, that it is going to be valuable.
The gap, to my opinion, the gap is not on experience from people of Cyprus. There is experience. Also, many Cypriots from abroad are in top institutions, top companies that are doing amazing work. So in terms of mentors, it's easy to identify them and find them because we are a small country. The biggest problem in Cyprus is the industry that doesn't exist and the logistics. Where I'm trying to import something from abroad, a machine or any consumables, and it takes, instead of a few days, it takes a few weeks, possibly months. And what is happening is that the German sends the consumable to Cyprus customs, and it just sits there for a month. So it's the government issues that needs to be solved first in order to have the ability for us.
So having local mentors could be extremely valuable. I just want to thank everybody for your patience, for being with us. I wanted to thank all the startups and to encourage them to engage. We chose them carefully. The first thing we were looking for is that they are coachable. They want to hear. It's very important, so we don't waste your time. I want to finish by sharing with you one real challenge we had to deal with, we Cyprus in deciding who the mentees of the first pilot VMS program would be in Cyprus. Because initially, obviously, we thought the mentees would be the scientific teams in the Cyprus program. Obviously, we wanted our teams to receive this amazing mentoring. And finally, we realized that the scientific teams are not the right choice for such a program, because the main value of the mentoring you will be giving is the fact that you would be advising on business matters, customer exploration, convincing customers to test their products, how to sell, how to do a business plan, how to scale it up. And obviously, we realized that the scientific teams are not there yet. So we chose startups who are more mature, more receptive, and more appreciative of the mentoring on business matters. So again, so that we don't waste your time and so that we have successes. So we are also learning about these first 3 startups. We tried to find also startups from outside Cyprus, as we thought it was important to identify some startups from the diaspora. There are amazing Cypriots in England, in Greece, and the rest of Europe who are trying very hard to bring to the market their innovative solutions. And they're also looking for mentoring. They're also looking for people to network them. You listen to Ginny. They want to expand to the US. So that's another reason why we chose not only to have Cypriot mentors, but to mix Cypriots with European and US mentors, because one of the most important give back from you guys to them is to network them. It's very, very critical. So it's all about networking, I know. No, not about, mostly, as they need. So any questions from you before we go to our networking event? Angela, welcome. Angela, would you like to introduce yourself? Because everybody else did. A very dedicated, passionate supporter of Cyprus Seeds, an amazing person, Angelos.
I'm Angelos Luis. I'm a director of Red HR Solutions. We work with Cyprus Seeds for HR matters, and I think I'm going to be one of the specialists advising on HR issues for this group. Our offices are in Cyprus and here in Aglaja, actually, and looking forward, if you need anything from us, to be able to support you guys. Thank you.
It's time for a break.